Hey, what's happening, everyone? Gonna show you some bench training from last week and a little bit from this week. So these are two sessions done, I think, 4 days apart or something like that. And what I've done these last, I think, 4 to 6 weeks is train my bench a little bit more and take my bench training just maybe an extra session or a little bit more effort these last, almost 6 weeks, maybe, I think. So essentially working myself up to like a peak in my bench. Nothing too serious, nothing too crazy of an improvement, but I figured I could manage to get myself something pretty nice in a fairly short amount of time. So this is 335 right here. You see how easy that goes up. I made a jump to 350. And this 350 set would be the heaviest I've benched in quite a while. And yeah, that was very easy. Unfortunately, on this day, I did tell myself I was going to limit it to 350, and if I got 350, I'll just do a couple singles, and that's what I did. So I did that second single right there. Pretty difficult. This third one, on the other hand, is freaking insane. Just, no, 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 barely, barely got it up. Woo! And so after those three singles at 350 pounds, backed off to about 90% of that 350, which puts me about 315. So with 315, I wanted to just get some more reps in my T1, and this will bring me up to about 10 or so reps in that heavier T1 range. These are all things above 85%. That would be what constitutes your T1. And there, I would like you to get 10 to 15 repetitions, ideally. So, and this is, of course, on something that you could hit for double any day. That's kind of the idea, right? So just keep those percentages and numbers and reps just floating around in your mind as we continue this video, because I've done, I think, 3 videos in a row now demonstrating my method in practice, and so you can go back through and watch those, and hopefully, you might learn something, I hope. So that's 315, wrapping up my T1, drop down now to 65% or something like that. No, 70%, yeah, of that 350, and that puts me at about 245. And I wanted to get some reps in the T2 here, so this is going to be, I think, 4 sets of 5 reps or something like that, putting me at 20 repetitions. However, the change on this T2 range exercise is that I'm doing it with a close grip. So I've just altered my competition movement by one way, and it's no longer a competition movement. I mean, technically you can bench like this in competition, so if you wanted to get nitpicky, but it's not my personal competition movement, if you catch my drift. So just accumulating more repetitions on this assistance exercise by doing something that's going to strengthen the weakness that I personally have in that exercise, and that is going to be my lockout, which I struggle with most. So I put a little bit more emphasis on my triceps in training my bench rather than my shoulders or my pecs, because those are obviously doing well so far. Now, that movements right there was all pretty damn close to the competition movement. Of course, you could always do like an incline or an OHP, overhead press, as a T2. But I'm just keeping a little bit more specific since I am working up to a peak, a little baby micro peak. That was kind of weird. But I'm working up to this peak, you guys. I want to get a little bit more specific on my exercise selection. So here is the start of a bench day, about 4 days later, I think, where I wanted to work up to a heavier single, just for one. So I knew that I could get 350 for 3 for my last bench session. So I wanted to get something a little bit heavier, but just for one. A very nice one, not a grinder, like that triple with that third single with 350. No, something easier. So that's 355, went up like butter. I wanted to keep it that way, so I knew I could get a bit more, but I wasn't going to push it. Maybe 5, maybe 10 more pounds could have managed, but it really isn't worth it. Rather back off down to 315 here, again about 90% of what that single was, I wanted to get some more reps in, so here I do a set of 3, a set of 3, and I think a set of 4. And that's going to bring me into that 10 to 15 reps range in that T1 intensity percentage of 85% or greater of something you could hit basically any day of the week. So not the best gym lift you ever did. You know, not that lift you did 6 months ago when you were gacked out on like 400 monsters. You know, not that day, but a day, any day where you could hit that lift. Just that is what I would like you to program off of. An everyday max. And if anything, an everyday 2-rep max. Just to make sure that you're operating within your abilities. And so by going up to these singles or these 3 sets of 1 like I had in the first part of this video, I'm going up to something that I could hit that day and something I could hit with relative ease that day, and then backing off quite significantly down to that 85 or 90% range, and getting, you know, a handful more reps in. Would like to get about 10 in on a given workout. Then dropped, got about 20 reps in. So that would be 2 reps for every 1 in the first tier. So 2-to-1 ratio. And then for the third tier, you know, I'm just going to cut down weight even further, and I'm going to do a whole lot more reps. I'm going to do 3 reps for every 1 in the first tier with every T3 exercise. So more or less the structure is going to do your T1 first, your T2 second, your T2 T3 third, and for every tier that you do, you want to add another rep. And so that way it's just making sure that you're getting some practice with the heavy stuff regularly. You're getting your strength work in where you're building that strength base in that medium intensity range. And then you're going to get a lot of hypertrophy and assistance bodybuilding type work to just help build your muscle mass, to help, you know, keep you conditioned, all that good stuff. Help get you some extra practice with the weights, because, you know, that's always good. And that's kind of the idea behind it. And you know what, you guys that came over from Meg Squat's channel, I hope you enjoy my channel. And the next video I do is likely going to be an instructional type video on how to, you know, employ my method in building your own program that's a little bit better suited to your needs. Because you know how to train your body best, so long as you kind of have the tools and the knowledge on how to do so. And you know what? This stuff is really not as hard as many people make it out to be, and you could be pretty damn successful by doing what I do, or at least I believe. So keep watching. Hopefully you learn something. Thanks.